And it figures my dog would be doing this right now.
Must be a girl dog. Must have a lot to say.
All right. We are live, everyone. I am so excited about this. I have the most wonderful friend that has honored me today to be on the show with me. And I don't do a lot of Facebook Live. I'm usually on YouTube. And Judy Cali is here today. And I'm thinking, what can I do to make things change in this world? Because we're shifting so much energy right now. And I'm going, how can we help? What can we do? And the first thing that came to me is show love. Show love. Feel that love from the Creator and the Mother Goddess, Gaia, and let them know that we have love. Well, the woman I have on today has been on my radio show, and she's the most amazing, benevolent woman I have ever met. So, hi, Judy Cali. How are you today?
You know, I'm really, really well. And I am so grateful to you that we have an opportunity to share our hearts with everybody all over the world. How much greater of a gift is that to us? It's a wonderful, wonderful thing.
That is so true. So true. You know, when we share our hearts with people and you open it up with no judgment, no conditions, we can spread so much love around the world and the universe, from the planet to the universe to anybody who needs love.
Do you know that if you just giggle, it will touch every heart in the world? Because when we giggle, it's an automatic response. You want to giggle back, right? So when you giggle, that frequency of love, of pure joy, travels to every heart like simultaneously, and every heart gets it. So every time you laugh, you're helping to heal not only yourself, but you're healing the world. And isn't that a great gift to give?
That is, as you know, it took me a while to start laughing again.
Yes.
I don't hide nothing. And when you taught me to laugh again, that really made a big difference in my life 4 years ago. And I noticed the skin changing just about you, and the physical, the emotional, the mental, spiritual. But when it really hit the physical, I was seeing it in my face, and I'm going, I have no more bags.
Yes.
Different things change. I'm 60. And, it's like there's supposed to be some bags there, but no. The more I laugh, it's not like these laugh lines show up.
The beautiful thing is, when you feel joy, it goes down into your cellular structure. And that is the basis of your wellness. And so when you allow yourself to make joy more important than anything else, there's never an inappropriate time to express joy. Okay, so when you're expressing joy, it touches every part of your cellular structure, your molecular structure, every organ, all the bodily processes, all the bodily systems. It affects everything, and you glow. And who doesn't want to glow? So It's a really beautiful gift you give to you, that if anything at all is upsetting you, I don't care what it is, acknowledge it, recognize it, but then choose to smile from the inside out. Whether you're watching a YouTube of children laughing, or little animal antics, or you're watching some funny movie, it goes to the very core of you, and it jiggles. And that's the only way Buddha shared this with me. He said it jiggles you from your toes all the way up, and you just jiggle, and it loosens all of the old energy absolutely beautifully. And then joy is now radiating through your whole being. So when you get up in the morning, Mother Mary said to me in 2000, it was 2000, 2 years ago. And she said, Judy, when you get up in the morning, say to yourself, I choose to joyfully create today and have more fun than I've ever had, and add anything after that you want to say. And when you open your arms to the world, you're giving a big hug, not only to you, but to every single soul. And when you do that, it opens your path and clears it.
Mm-hmm.
So when you say to yourself, I have to get up and go to work, for me personally, the word work doesn't feel good.
Mm-hmm.
It has never felt good. Because she asked me, she said, Judy, how does the word work feel? I said, it doesn't feel good to me on any level. And she said, well, how does it feel? I said, it feels like have to, must, expected. I should, I must, I have to. And that's not necessary because we've stepped out of living a fear-based life 17 years ago on December 21st, 2002.
Right.
And we're letting go all the old energy. And now we're starting more than 51% of our day to live a loved-based life, not a fear-based life. So joyfully creating just opens your heart. And then she said to me, start removing anything out of your vocabulary that doesn't feel good in your body, because that's toxing you and you don't want to toxic yourself. So anything you're saying that's unloving in any way, shape, or form is toxing your body, and it creates disease, illness, and aging. And we do not want that.
No, we don't. No.
No, we don't. We've already
No.
had it. We're done with it. Let it go.
Oh, that's wonderful what you just said. Oh my gosh, it touches my heart so much. It's like, yes, so true.
And your heart is 5,000 times more powerful than your head.
Yes.
Your head is great, you know, to balance a checkbook. Is it a red or a green light? I'm reading a book, but your heart is where all the choices are made. And your heart is where you are in touch with what you're really feeling. And your heart never lies to you, not once. So when you're in your heart space, and I don't care if that is you're holding an animal you cherish and you remember that,
Mm-hmm.
or you're holding a child that you have blessed in your life, or you're holding the hand of a loved one, or you are in joy with passion, like I love art. So if I'm seeing art, my whole heart lights up, or if I'm hearing music. When you choose that, then everything around you energetically receives that joy. And my guides told me about 6 months ago, they said, Judy, at this time, our bodies are shifting so fast that last fall we were living 8 hours a day out of 24. We're collapsing time because fear and space only exist in the old energy. And the energy we're stepping into, which is called fifth dimension, there's no disease, illness, or aging, because all those things are caused by fear. And so when you think that false evidence appearing real, that's fear. 97% of the time, it's not a legitimate fear. It's just what you've been brainwashed to think on automatic pilot, you're to be in fight or flight. And it's not at all where we need to be. Your body has fight or flight for one reason. It's to give you that little oomph when you need to step over something, or you have a dinosaur chasing you, right?
Right.
Where you have a sense of urgency, or the parent who lifts a car to get their child and help their child. We get that little extra burst. Well, the way we've been living our lives in third dimension, we've been on fight or flight 24/7. Mm-hmm. And it's burning out and taking the energy out of our being and using it in ways that are not benefiting us. So it's really important that we recognize that when we're in fear, ask yourself, is this absolutely necessary at this time for a real fear I'm dealing with right now? Or is this from the past, or what we call the future? And I'm using my time now in this moment to waste it on something that either already happened or hasn't even happened yet. And we're already focusing on it now. And we need to stop polluting ourselves and take responsibility. And we're here now to live life consciously and mindfully. We're not here to be on automatic pilot anymore.
Right.
And you know you're on automatic pilot when you're driving and you're doing your shopping list at the same time. Right? How many of us have done that? Right? Your body knows how to drive the car. So you're going, well, I need to add this to my list and I need to pay attention to that on my list. That's when you're on automatic pilot. That doesn't serve you anymore at all. You want to be present where you're breathing.
And that makes sense because, you know, my consciousness has left when I'm driving. Yes. Yes. We know who was driving. We'll just leave it at that.
Yes.
But I've got that under control now where I'm present.
I'm so relieved to hear that.
Every driver
on the road is safe.
That former aspect loves to drive my car, but she's not allowed to no more. I want to know where I'm at.
Well, we have one of our dogs who is 1.5 pounds. Her name is Lucy. And she gets on my chest and puts her paws on the steering wheel. And my younger daughter's an animal communicator for almost 35 years. Her name is Cherie. And Peyton tells us that she's driving because in a life she had before, she was a dog named Peyton. She was a stock car driver, an underground stock car driver with the colors black and white, and she loves speed. So I always put her on my chest. That's just when we're getting in and out of the garage or going around the corner to just come to a stoplight on where we live before we get out of traffic. And she has got her little paws and she's paying attention. And I say to her, now look to the right, look to the left. We have to check, make sure we can go. And she does. So.
Oh, wow. So we have people listening and really liking what you're saying, by the way.
Well, I'm talking from my heart. And I said a prayer this morning that may we touch every heart in the world and beyond that we're here to touch. And may we be touched by every heart that is here on this beautiful experience of ours. And so we're all being touched. And isn't that wonderful?
It is, because there's lots of hearts up, by the way. And so I want to say really quick, if you have any questions, just type it in Facebook and Judy will answer them for you. So
yep.
Your questions ready. Get them ready. So, you know, you bring amazing beings through from the other side that want to talk.
Yes, we have some.
You know, I was wondering, do you have any messages for us?
Yes. Now, first of all, I want to say, out of fairness, I've been doing the work that I do for over 70 years. I've been around the sun 73 times as of 2 weeks ago. And when I'm connecting, I'm working exclusively with the sacred heart, which is your high heart. And your high heart is your immortal heart. And that's the heart that you're connected to, the heart of Creator and the heart of creation. That's home. And when you're in your sacred heart, you are 100% in your flow. And the connecting point to your sacred heart is a little hollow space at the base of your throat and also one of the chakras above your head. But for right now, I just want to draw your attention to that. And I work with the I am presence, which is the highest and wisest part of you. So everything that I'm sharing with you is coming through the cleanest filter possible to then share with you. And by the way, the messages that I share, I don't improvise or add anything. If that being is talking to me and giving me this information, I give it to you exactly the way it was given to me. Okay?
That's important. That's very important.
Well, the first one is Christopher Columbus. I've never had Christopher Columbus come in. So here we go. Let's see what Christopher has to say. He's standing here at the end of a boat with the full regalia on, and he's very stately looking. So let me see what it is he wants to say. The freedom of America and the freedom of the world rests in the heart. If you choose to love you, then you automatically can love another. That was a lesson that was very hard earned for me in my life at that time, known as Christopher Columbus. And there were many things that I'm not proud of. where I misused my masculine energy in a way that harmed a lot of people. But I also brought many people to a brand new experience, and that's adventure. And many, many things happen when you're in the middle of an adventure. So I say to you that you want a heart full of love and full of awareness so that you can choose what you're going to choose and be in touch with how somebody else is going to receive that. And if your intention is to only share what really would benefit not only yourself but others, then like a missile, it will not miss its target. It will go directly to the intended place it is meant to go. And you don't have to figure it out. You just need to be in your flow. And as Judy said, just navigate that so that you're in your flow. And when you're in your flow, then you touch the hearts of the people and all of nature and all of life in the way that you as a soul agreed to touch the world and beyond. And so I, as Christopher Columbus, have had an amazing adventure in my life. And I send the best wishes for you to honor whatever your greatest adventure is for you in this life. Don't turn your back on it. Listen and feel that thrust of urge of I choose this, or this is talking to me, or I feel this in every bone of my body. That is your higher wisdom speaking to you. And as long as it's coming in a loving way, do not discount it on any level. How many inner promptings have you received that you have circumvented and let your head take over and say, no, I need to go this way? And of course, you got lost. So I'm coming today in this beautiful forum to say to you, follow your heart and listen to the inner wisdom. And if that feels good to you, then you're going to be sharing good feelings with others. And take the time to put yourself in a position of recognizing that if you've made a choice that has harmed, choose to do better next time. And just send a heart of love to all the people that you in your own idea have harmed. And then you're done. It has been a joy to come here today. And I thank you, ladies, for this opportunity to have this venue to express a feeling that I wanted to share.
How beautiful. Thank you.
There's a ladybug. Here we go. She's sitting on my left shoulder. Her name is Charlotte. Here we go. I just wanted to put my 2 cents in. As a ladybug, my different experience in life has been very different from Christopher's. And yet I have had human experiences, but this time I'm enjoying the ability to fly and to be so lightweight I can fly anywhere and go anywhere and do anything. And one of the things I enjoy about being a ladybug is the smiles that I put on people's hearts when they see me. I have not had anybody unhappy with me. They glow, they smile, and I get to rub my little feet together and I get to plant them on the person if I'm blessed to do that, or on the plant. And love from me instantly goes into whatever I am standing on. And so I have magical feet and they share from my heart. And I love that. This is Charlotte. And I send you a big kiss as I set my feet on you and share my love. Never heard from a ladybug before. That's wonderful. And I've never heard from Christopher Columbus before. So I'm saying we're batting it out of the park 100%. That's really great. Oh, I feel her. She's now taking her little feet and going all over me. So if you're feeling little tiny feet and little bubbles of hearts of love, and maybe it's little little nuances of energy. That's Charlotte sharing. How sweet is that? Whew. There are about 4 other beings here, which we will share as we go through. And is there anything important that you would like us to discuss, that you're getting messages from the people?
Yeah, let's go to this one. Marjorie, the question. January 12th, 2020. Question just left.
We bless you, Marjorie.
Yeah, I don't know what happened when your question left. Okay. Simplicity of sending love through the magic feed. That's what one person wrote.
Okay, what was the question? What was the comment?
There's not a question. The question just kind of left there. I'm sorry. Let me.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, we'll send you both hugs.
Yeah, everyone's sending hugs. So there's quite a few people listening. Just listening to what you have to say, Judy. I think it's important today. When I have a lot of comments, I always know they would just want to hear. So let's hear some more from you.
Here's the beautiful thing. When we give ourselves the permission to live authentically and truthfully to who we are, everything is in divine order.
Right.
When you choose to make this person out here, or this circumstance out here, or this experience more important, you deny your ability to come first. And at this time, you can't give something to somebody else that you have not given to yourself first. And so for most of society, especially the women, we've been taught that we are last on the list. Everybody else comes first. And that we need to somehow not have needs because we're being selfish if we try to take care of ourselves. But the opposite is true. And when you pass to the other side, the only question the angels ask you is, how much did you love yourself? That's the only question you're asked. And we came here as a society, as a full scope of beings in this life. We all had the same mission. And our mission is to love ourselves more in this life than we've ever loved ourselves in any life. And by the way, you're living all your lives now. There's no past and there's no future. You're living them all now. And the way you can kind of grasp that is when you sit in your car and you turn on the car radio and you're aware that you're listening to a specific station, but you're also acutely aware that there are thousands of other radio stations all playing at the same time. And that's how your lives are. You're living them all now. So when people say, well, it's in the past and I can't do anything about it, no, that's not truthful. You and every word you say, every thought you think, every feeling that you have, every choice you make affects every form of life through infinity and affects every other life you're living. And I was taught that by Ernest Holmes, the founder of Church of Religious Science, Science of Mind, when I was 7 years old. And it hasn't changed.
Right. I have a question. We have a question. I don't mean to interrupt you. I want to get to this one. It says, hi, Judy and Brie. Thank you for this opportunity. Does food affect our connection of who we are in our ascension? That's a good question.
Yes, it does. But one choice that I've made is I bless and violet flame everything that I'm eating and drinking. I violet flame the whole environment. And when you bless something, what you're basically saying is, I choose only what honors me. And that's what I say. And for years, I had been on and off a vegetarian. And I had a medical intuitive who was an excellent medical intuitive. And she advised me very clearly 2 years ago, She said, Judy, your body does not resonate with vegetarianism at this time. You're needing meat on some level. So I kind of have been doing it like the Orientals, where I kind of make the vegetables and stuff more, and I do a little bit less of the protein.
Right.
And I kind of do it that way. But I also, there again, I bless anything involved in the meal. I bless any way in which it's affecting the earth as I release. And I make sure that I'm constantly aware that I am here now affecting every form of life. And how do I choose to affect it? Well, with love. Right. So you can just give your body the awareness that you're choosing to love your body as much as you possibly can by making choices to the best of your ability at that time to do. And when you say, I choose only what honors me and everything else goes into the light, right, and I bless everything, then you really don't have to be too concerned.
True.
Unless you're wanting to go on a 4-day chocolate binge.
You know, that sounded really good for last night, by the way.
I know. We would all like to do that.
So here's another one from Amara. Judy always makes me smile. That's the first thing you know.
Thanks, Amara.
And so she has a question. In the last 6 months, I have noticed twice I'm still not settled and believe another move is near for me. So she believes that she's going to move again. She wants to know what you see in that.
Okay, first of all, the good news is you haven't even created tomorrow yet, Amara. So you can create anything you want. So if you recognize that who we are in the morning is not who we are even in the afternoon. Because remember I said we're down to 6 hours a day that we're living out of 24. That's why when you feel everything speeding up and going so fast, it's because joy and happiness and laughter and love are a much higher frequency. And we're feeling more of it in the last 17 years because we've been in 4th dimension. And so you just need to give yourself permission, Amara, to know that everything is in divine order. You've created everything. And your key is to put your energy into, in this moment, what feels good to you. Right. And that way, if your momentum is in choosing what feels good and what's speaking to your heart, then you're always going to be in the right place at the right time. Now, when we make a choice that takes us the other direction, it's usually because we've chosen that's painful or harming or whatever it may be, because we've outgrown where we are. And we're already prepared for our next step. And we need to feel uncomfortable enough that we will not go back and we will move on. And it's not forward or back or up or down, it's expanding or contracting. So we expand when we're in the love frequency and we contract when we're in the fear frequency. So I hope that answers your question, Amara.
Okay, we have one from Carolyn. I like this one. Dear Judy and Brie, and all you beautiful people, requesting magical love and support for my family in Santa Paula. Right now, we're evacuating their animals while Joe is in the hospital with heart surgery. Ease and grace and protection and love for the most beloved outcome, and gratitude and blessings from Carolyn.
So it's Carol's the one that submitted the
Yes, her name is Carolyn.
Okay, Carolyn. I have an older daughter that lives in the San Fernando Valley and has been on the edge of this, so I understand. So why don't we take a moment and put into prayer?
Yes.
As because, you know, the more of us that put our hearts in the same direction, you create a larger experience. So I bless you, Carolyn, for coming up with this so we can do this. Thank you. So I ask everybody to put your hands on your heart and come home to your heart. You can feel your heart beating. You want to be home most of your day. So in this moment, we know that the earth is giving itself permission to cleanse itself in the way that it feels it's most needed. And each soul chooses everything before they're born. We don't consciously remember that while we're here, but we have chosen everything before we're born. So in this moment, we ask that divine grace literally encompass the entire planet, and that everything is in alignment with the highest and the most expanded love we carry in our heart. And may we all be connected with all of our bodies, all of our minds, and all of our hearts, so that we're in this moment showering the earth with the beautiful energy of peace and love. And the color for healing is emerald green. So let's see the whole planet Earth sparkling in emerald green. And let's send to all the fire areas, or the areas where there is an imbalance. We ask, and we are clear that everything that that area needs is provided to bring everything back to balance. And we know that there's an angel for every blade of grass. So we ask all the angels to do whatever they can do so that every form of life on the planet is having its most benevolent outcome, or something even better. And so in this moment, I want you to see the planet all now sparkling gold, because that's the color of divine consciousness, and that's the color of new earth, and it already exists. We just need to align ourselves with it. So let's feel the violet flame is flaming all of the earth. So everything is being cleared of anything that is unloving, that's not necessary anymore. And everything is being restored to its divine balance. And in this moment, we ask the I am presence of every soul to feel the truth for them and go from that place and know that all is well, regardless of how they feel everything is happening. It's all happening for a reason, and it's happening that will benefit everything. And we may not always need to know what that is or even understand it. We just need to surrender and trust in the integrity of our own soul and know that everything is in divine order. And so in this moment, see all of us holding hands all around the earth, everybody, including all the animals, every form of nature. We also call in Peter Pan, because Peter Pan is the king of the elementals. And I also call in Tinkerbell. And I ask them to assist all of nature to receive exactly in harmony what honors it. And in this moment, all of life is being blessed, and all of us are being blessed. And we will touch everything and anything with our love in this moment now. And so it is.
Thank you.
I had a direct experience with this, which I would like to share, because I only share what I've actually gone through. I don't share with you what I've read in books, because I stopped reading 20 years ago. I kept falling asleep, and my angels came in and said, "You full, there's no more room at the inn. You've taken in everything you can take in," because I was reading 3 and 4 books a day from the time I was 7 years old. So I stopped reading and I stopped meditating 20 years ago, because I know where my center is. And when I'm not in my center, I just get back into my center. And that's basically what meditation helped me to recognize, where my center is. So I've been in 3 earthquakes. I have been in a tornado watch, and I was in the eye of a hurricane in Florida. And the first earthquake I went through was in '70 in the San Fernando Valley. We were evacuated for 6 months. And then I went through another one in 94, and I was living in Tarzana, which was the heart of that particular earthquake. And here I live about 20 minutes outside of Palm Springs. And here, just a couple months ago, we had another earthquake. And so if you've been a part of an earthquake, you know the rolling feeling. So it started rolling, and I sat up on my bed, and the very first thought that I had, it had nothing to do with survival. I want to get this clear. I kept saying to my heart, I choose the most benevolent outcome, not only for myself, but to the I am presence of my entire family and all of the animals. And I know that all is in divine order. Not once did I put my energy into, do we have enough water? If we get evacuated, where do we go? Are we in survival? I didn't even go there. I just put my energy 100% for about 15 minutes into the most benevolent outcome or something even better. And this is why this is important. And that's why this is a topic we're talking about today. Is I think Oprah Winfrey said it best. She said, when I was a little girl, and I'm paraphrasing, she said, I grew up with an outhouse and we had no running water and no electricity. And she said, and that's poor. So she said, when I became a teenager, I did not have a Black female executive entrepreneur that could guide me. And I wanted to somehow do something where I told the truth. So she said, I ended up getting into radio. Then I got into television. And she said, I've become a worldwide mogul. And she said, I still have more potential. So I'm quite excited that I am still have potential I can use and share. But she said, here's the key. When I was a little girl, I used to say in my prayers, thy will be done. And when I was an adult, I changed it to, or something even better. And she said, never as that little girl with that outhouse, with no running water and no electricity, could I have ever imagined myself as the woman I am today. But because my focus was, or something even better, my higher self knew what the greatest potential was for me for this lifetime, and I'm living it, even if I didn't know what that was. That's why I felt this topic was so important, because we're at a time on this earth where everything feels as though it's nuts. And it isn't. What it's doing is we're releasing on the deepest level any unloving energy that, whether humanity has it or any part of life has it, we're cleaning house. And it's got to come up to the surface for everybody to recognize any unloving energy that you put into before, you can now choose it to put it into love. And so our own personal lives, if you've noticed, the last 2 years have been the most intense 2 years of our life. Because in 2018, we were releasing our deepest core pains and fears. And the last 6 or 7 years, you may have noticed that any place that you're out of balance, anything about you that you're not loving, anything you're afraid of has been right in your face, and you have not been able to ignore it. And we cleared all the simple stuff the last 6 to 7 years, but in 2018, we went into the pit. And the pit is where the trauma first happened, or the pattern that you created that is not loving you was first created, or your deepest core pains and fears. And we're clearing them now. And in 2019, we've now been stepping into our power, our mastery, because we've cleared away the junk to make enough space for today and now.
Right.
And so that's why with the idea of I'm choosing the most benevolent outcome, which is I'm choosing the most loving outcome for me, or something even better that my higher self knows. I surrender to that. It covers everything. When you stop focusing on what you're afraid of, what you don't want, what happened before, you stop feeding that, and the neural pathways in your brain that have been carrying those ruts will start dissolving. And the law of attraction is an impersonal law. It just takes whatever you say, feel, think, or choose, and it gives you like a boomerang, 100% of it right back. And we do it automatically sometimes because that's how we were raised, or that's what the church said, or that's what our parents programmed into us, or that's what the school system said. And so we have all this stuff that we don't need anymore that served us at the time but isn't serving us now.
Right.
And that's what's coming up to the surface for us to see it, recognize it, and then say, well, I choose the most benevolent outcome or something even better. And when you do that, then your higher self assists you to take that momentum of energy, and you do create the most benevolent outcome or something even better. And that is really you being in your flow.
That is wonderful. That's wonderful. You know, I lost a question here. Tammy.
Hi, Tammy.
And Tammy is listening right now, so I want to actually read this question. I love the heart-based life. How do I get rid of the mind chatter that keeps focusing in its way into the heart conversation?
Okay, first of all, when you're in your heart space, you can't be in fear at the same time. It's physically impossible.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so that just tells me you're in your head. Okay, and that's because you're used to being in your head. So here's how you know. If you picture, like I said earlier, holding a pet next to your heart, or holding a child, or holding the hands of grandma or grandpa, or holding the hands of your beloved, whoever it may be. As an example, when I hear Andrea Bocelli sing, his voice does something in my body and touches every single part of me, and the tears start flowing. And every part of me is being bathed in the integrity, the beauty, and the love he's singing from of his own heart. And I feel it in every part of my body. For somebody else, it can be a whole different artist. But for me, Andrea Bocelli touches every part of me when he sings. And I delight in that. And when I'm in that space, I'm being totally nurtured and supported. I'm in my oneness. I have no concerns, no worries, no doubts, no fears. Nothing's more important than feeling the pleasure and the integrity of that touching me in all the magical, sacred ways. It's not any different than when you hold a child and you have that child and you remember they have the tiniest little toenails and they have those sweet little heels and those little rolls that they have under their neck so they look like elderly little men. And they have the sweetest, softest skin, and their little heart, the top space on their head you have to be so careful with. And they're so precious. And so when you're holding a child, are you looking at a clock? No. Are you caring if you're 6 inches to the right or 6 inches to the left? No. You're 100% in heart space with that child. And you're loving every part of that little being, and that little being is loving every part of you. There is no way fear gets in there on any level. So to answer your question, Tammy, remember and tune into holding something that touches your heart and be in that space. So that when you go back in your head, the more you spend time in your heart, you're going to recognize it doesn't feel good to be in your head. It feels good to be in your heart. And that's in the present moment now. Hope that answers your question.
That's a great question. We actually have Teresa helping with questions, by the way.
Thanks, Teresa.
So here's one that she sent me from Nancy. How can we know that what is coming to us is from our I am presence?
Well, first of all, if it feels good, it's coming from your I am presence. If it doesn't feel good, it's not. So when I have people send me stuff all the time with, you know, this California is going to fall off a cliff somewhere, or this is going to happen, or that's going to happen. And I send it back to them and I'll say, I have nothing to do with your experience. You choose what your experience is. And if you want to experience this, then keep focusing on it. Mm-hmm. If you stop, this is a possibility. That's all it is. Don't make it a probability. Like right now, can I share Brie for you?
Sure.
Right now, you have 1,317 current potentials for tomorrow. Which one of those 1,317 potentials your higher self is telling you have for tomorrow will depend on only one thing: how much you love yourself today and nothing else. So you don't want to get into the what happens sometime.
Right.
You want to be in this moment. That's why my focus, and I told you about the earthquake, because I didn't even go into surviving and all of that. I put my attention in what my choice was. So when you are in mind chatter, it's because you're in fear.
Right.
And I'll share a very simple way that you can recognize that. I took a class in the 1980s at a junior college, and the instructor handed us all out envelopes at the very beginning of the class. And he said, I want everybody to address the envelopes to yourself. And then he handed us all stamps, and he handed us all a piece of paper. And he said, I want everybody to write on the piece of paper, you can use both sides, all the things you're worried about happening. Everything. Fill the papers. Okay? He said, in 6 months, when the class is over, our last class, I'm going to mail you back all these envelopes you're giving me today, sealed with your list of things you're worried about. I mail it all back to you a week before the class. And I want everybody to circle all the things that actually happened, and to also make comments. Was it worse than you thought it was going to be? At the end of 6 months, we all got our envelopes back before class. We all brought in our totals. We handed him our letters, our envelopes, and we had everything circled with totals. He added up all the totals, and then he turned to the class and he said, okay, there's about 60 of you in the class. And he said, I want you to know that 97% of everything that you guys were all obsessed and worried about for the last 6 months never happened. Only 3% happened. And out of that 3%, not one of you had an idea that it was worse than you thought it was going to be. You all said it was easier than you thought it was going to be. So he said, I want you to understand that you spent 97% of your time in the last 6 months being afraid, when you could have spent this last 6 months enjoying life. And then when the 3% pops up, you're more prepared to handle it because you've been in a balanced situation for the last 6 months. You haven't been in fear, draining all your resources and draining your body of energy and imbalance and having all these issues. He said, so it's your choice. Are you going to let that 3% run your life, or are you going to recognize it's part of living? And I thought it was one of the most powerful exercises that I'd ever had presented to me. And I thought, this is so truthful, because we've been taught to be afraid all the time. And yet, truthfully, as we experienced in that class, how many of those things ever really happen? And even when they do, most of the time, they're nothing like we thought they were going to be. So if you look at the odds are in your favor that you're going to be in grace and you're going to be living a life 97% of the time. And you're the one creating your life 100%. So make it good.
Oh, definitely.
Wonderful adventures. I hope that answers.
Definitely. A lot of us are going to make it good. I'm telling you, a lot of us. There was another question that came in actually, and I think it's really important. And like I said, it's helping with all this. This is from Marjorie.
Hi, Marjorie.
Okay, to play tiddlywinks every day, as you have said, when we want to work toward the ascension.
What my implication was, is that we're at a time as we're aligning with our fifth dimensional self, because remember, we are all into everything. We're pure liquid light, floating and glowing. And then we made the decision that we want to experience life tactily. We don't want to just be floating and glowing all the time. So we wanted to experience touch and taste and smell and feel and hear and know. We wanted to have those experiences. So the journey of a soul is we all are going to live at some point every form of life And at some point, we're all going to have every experience available in creation. That is the journey of the soul. So this is our time, because we knew as infants and young children that we were nothing but creation and we were blessed. And when you're around children, they know that they are divine beings of joy. And by the way, that's what the dolphins came to remind us, were divine beings of joy. So those little kids know, and you knew that you were fully loved unless you were abused, and that you were fully divine, and you trusted everything. If you saw butterflies, you knew they were there. If you saw unicorns, you knew they were there. If you saw the fairies, you knew they were there. You knew everything. And then we got talked out of it by our family. And then when we went to school, we got talked out of it in school and church and the media and all of that. And then we became middle-aged adults, and we have literally altered who we truly are to accommodate everybody else because we wanted to be loved. So if mom didn't want us to be smiling all the time, we stopped smiling. If dad wanted us to be logical all the time and never talk to us from his heart, it was always asking us questions, then we got talked out of it. So now it's our time to be authentic and truthful. So as we align with our fifth dimensional self, we are an androgynous being in fifth dimension, and we are in our light body. We're not male and female, and we're not humans. We can be if we want to, but usually we're in our light body. Why does this matter? Because being authentic and truthful means that you're present in this moment. And that's where you need to be, where you're breathing. And it's about being in fifth dimension. It's not about doing. And we came in as pure hearts. And so your intention for most people is not to harm. We came in with really full hearts, and we really wanted to be kind to people, most of us, okay?
Right.
So consequently, it's not about what you do. You could play tiddlywinks all day long and be in joy, and you're doing exactly what you came here to do. It has nothing to do with what you do. It has everything to do with you being who you really are. And only then can you share your gifts with the world that you came here to share. They can't come from a heart full of fear. They can only be expressed in a heart full of love. So a lot of us, as we're opening our heart, and the veil of forgetting that we all went through before we came in here has been getting thinner and thinner and thinner. And as the veil's been getting thinner, we've been connecting more and more to who we truly are. And as we connect more to who we truly are, then we're living authentically. And interestingly enough, the reason you can't get your to-do list done is because we are down to 6 hours a day out of 24. So the best thing you can do is do what feels good at the moment and allow yourself to feel what you're feeling. And the interesting thing is you will get the things done that need to be done, but it will not come through stress. It will come through simplicity. And truth is simple. When it starts getting complicated, you're in fear. Truth is very simple. You're either choosing to love yourself and expand into more of who you are, or you're choosing to contract and step out of your center and out of your flow and become littler than you are. That's your choice, folks, every moment. And you as a human have the right of free will. So you get to decide every time an experience happens, you're going to label it either good or bad, but it isn't good or bad. It's just experience. But whatever you choose, that then takes the direction of your life. I hope that answers your question.
That's good. So Marjorie says, fearlessness. Mary Beckman says, love you both, by the way. And I so love her. And then we have, I just signed on, and Joan, I just signed on, and oh yes, true for many of what, let's see. This is so true for many, if not all of us, what you're saying.
Yes, we come in as we are an aspect of all of creation. You are creator, source, all that is, because everything is made out of energy.
Mm-hmm.
And energy can just be in different forms. Energy could make a chair, energy could be the sun, energy could be a body, but we're all made out of the same energy. That's what we call God, source, divinity, all that is. The God of the God of planet Earth. There is a God assigned and a goddess to planet Earth, and that is Sanat Kumara. And he is the God of planet Earth and Lady Master Venus.
Okay. Here's one more question from Terry Lynn. I'm feeling such low energy right now. I can't figure out what has happened to me since September, when I was energized. What is happening?
We are going through, as I started to explain, the largest shift we've ever gone through in these last 2 years. My heart is telling me that 2020 is going to be easier. So bottom line, we're in the pit now clearing all the stuff. So what's happening is your body can either choose to use your energy to keep you busy, or your body can choose to use it to heal, rejuvenate, and regenerate, and receive the downloads, activations, and initiations you've set up for yourself. And in order to do that, we need to be in a quiet state. So for me, for the last several years, I've literally been getting up in the morning and I just want to go right back to bed and go to sleep. And I can barely function some days. And I use ginseng, a little vial of ginseng, once or twice a day if I'm absolutely depleted. And I just need to revive myself a little bit, give myself a little boost. But it's important that we stop the resistance. If you're sleepy and you're able to, go lay down. Stop pushing, forcing, and insisting. That's misusing your masculine energy harshly. Your feminine side is the left side of your body. That's your side of receiving. I was fortunate to step into my ascended master self in January of 2018. And Brie and I shared this. And I came in as Anna, Mother Mary's mother. And one of the first things Anna said to me is, I've been in your head for 3 days. That's why your head's been hurting. And I realized they were opening my crown chakra. And then she said to me, Judy, allow everything and resist nothing. And I'm going to suggest that for you, because every time we resist, I don't care what it is, we're creating more of it. So if instead you embrace everything that you used to resist, then your own love can dissolve it and it will clear, because you're embracing and taking it in and you're allowing, you're not pushing it away. So I don't care what it is, stop resisting and embrace that part of you. I just had a question asked to me. We were talking just yesterday about entities. And entities are just another part of you that you're not loving. That's all. There's nothing outside of you anymore. We've been taught in third dimension that everything outside of you has your answers, that nothing could be further from the truth. You encoded in your sacred heart before you were born every person, place, thing, and experience that you would need for this lifetime. You came in complete. You're whole, complete, and perfect. You didn't come in with a big gaping hole needing to look for your twin flame and then you'll be okay. That's not truthful at all. You came in whole, complete, and perfect. And you also programmed all the ways you're going to wake up and remember who you are. So you're the one that decided whether your third eye's open or not. You're the one decided if I'm going to have this experience or that experience. So the key here is to recognize that when you just stop and be at peace with what is, I don't care what it is, stop and be at peace with it today, right now where you're at, because you created it and it's honoring you. Now you can change it tomorrow. Anything you've created, if it honors you, you can uncreate in whatever way honors you. But in this moment today, right now, be at peace. And when you're at peace, then your flow is open and you can receive everything in harmony and grace because you're not blocking it. Every single time that you doubt, you worry, you are trying to speed things up by, the word is gone. When you're frustrated, when you're trying to make things happen faster, every time you do those things, you block your flow every single time. and you're blocking the very thing that you're wanting to keep open. Fear blocks, love opens. It's that simple.
Mm-hmm.
So just allow yourself to accept everything, welcome it in. I did an exercise many years ago. I've never heard of anybody doing, but I was guided one morning, and it took me 30 minutes. And I was guided to welcome into me all the parts of me that I was not loving. And the first thing I saw was a two-headed dragon, and I was shown which stones to put into the heart of each of these two-headed dragons. It was one body, but two dragons and two hearts. Then the next was a serpent, and I was shown which stone to put in that heart. It was a diamond. Then I was shown another dragon, and then I was shown all the lives in which I was participating in some form of war or some form of aggressiveness, any part of me that I felt I needed to protect. And it came to me like a deck of cards, all the ones, the king, the queen, the jack. It was a whole line that went forever. And all those forms of needing to be a warrior in any way, shape, or form, I collapsed them all into a jack of spades. And what I did is the two-headed dragon, I welcomed into my heart, my sacred heart. And then I literally covered my whole heart in the golden pink light of divinity and love. And the two-headed dragon dissolved. Then I called in the serpent, and the serpent dissolved. This was all within seconds. Then I called in the other one dragon, and it dissolved. And then all the warriors, the one jack, I put that in. That took 20 minutes. At the end of 30 minutes, I had loved every part of me. It's a simple thing to do, but I'm not afraid of the other parts of me. I know that it's part of the journey of a soul. We're all going to be everything at some point. So we just need to be at peace and know that our soul has many aspects to us and many different experiences we're having, so that we can work our way back into 100% love, floating and glowing, mindfully and consciously through love. That's the whole point of life, is to choose wisely and love ourselves. So that's something you might want to consider.
That's absolutely, I'm telling you, I don't know whether to cry or laugh right now. It's so beautiful. There's a lot of people online, they're asking different things about energy, and I know you already answered, so I'm kind of trying to pick through them. But I'm feeling like there's messages that you're supposed to bring through now. So I don't know how you want to do that, Judy.
Okay, so let me tune in. This gentleman came in a couple days ago with a client, and it's the first time he came in, and now he's here again. So he obviously has more to say. This is Sir Galahad, Sir Lancelot's son.
Oh my gosh.
Okay, here we go. He's coming up. Oh, wow. In the most beautiful horse. It's just gorgeous. Okay, here we go. In many people's hearts, through legends and through the printed word, it has been given the notion that we were warriors, but that is not truthful. We were all part of the round table of Arthur, each in our own way, because every part of us and all the character traits that are required to be noble and to have a noble heart, we all carry. And so, yes, there were times when we went into battle and we were fighting disputes of land and things like that. But I recognize now how fruitless it was, because in the heart, there's no boundaries. There's no fences. There's no acreage. There's no, this is mine and this is yours. It's just the one amazingly grand experience of life. And so I'm suggesting to you that you drop the fences and that you stop putting barriers up that keep you so far protected from others. The truth is If you are allowing yourself to love you, the fences will dissolve. The barriers between people will dissolve. And because you're not putting harm energy out, you're not going to attract harm energy back. And so as you expand more into what you're calling your fifth dimensional self, protection is not needed because you're not focusing on the fear, you're focusing on the love. And so one of the things that we did in order to allow us to be the noble hearts that we were, is we would get together as part of Arthur's Roundtable. And all of us that were going into any form of protection, we would bow our heads on our knees together and we would do a mutual prayer so that all of life benefited by our choice. And may our choice be guided by our heart and choosing love and not fear and choosing to destroy. And today, as I look at your world, it's the same experience back then. So that's the focus, is put your head and your heart in alignment with the one family understanding of life. And all of life is one huge family. And treat accordingly. And when something is not in alignment for you now, or something is not going to honor you now, you will not attract it if your energy is into love instead of fear. So come from a whole heart and make your choice to be who you truly are and not be talked into by others, making a choice that in some way, shape, or form not only does harm to you, but harms others, because you're harming yourself in the process. And it took me many years to understand Arthur's wisdom when he was talking about the round table. And as my dad was talking about the round table and the agreement that all of them made to honor the noble heart. You are a noble heart. Honor that and stand in the truth of who you are and believe in yourself. There's an Arcturian here.
Oh, wow.
He is all in white. He is aglow. I'm not seeing distinctive features, so here we go. I come today to represent my understanding of the culture that we call the Arcturians. And in our hearts, we are with you. And we are also tremendously proud of the way that you have all handled the many circumstances that you have felt you are in that makes you feel like you are tangled in a web. But it's strictly a web of deceit because you've created every single tentacle that's in that web in some form by being afraid. And when you make the choice to open your arms and to welcome in all that blesses you, you're making a constant awareness of your responsibility, not only to yourself, but others. And we of the 9th and 10th dimension have already been through what you're going through, but in a different way. And now we're stepping into a more expanded frequency, just like you are. And we're recognizing that we are here doing the best we can to help you. But one of the ways we're doing that is by staying kind of out of your peripheral awareness, because there's been so much energy put into making you afraid of others from other planets, instead of you seeing us as your extended brothers and sisters. So we have kind of stayed in the background, and we are making ourselves known to you in our energy field a little at a time, because you also are an Arcturian, because everybody is everything at some point. So embrace our wisdom, Embrace the love that we're sharing with you. Embrace the awareness that we've already been there. And we're trying to assist guiding you in your own way to your own experience. And we are not compromising your heart at all. So know that even though you're not seeing our ship land on your lawn, we are here. And we are huge. And our ships are huge because we create them through the thoughts of our own bodies. Just like you create everything in your own energy field. And we literally cover many times the whole earth with our love and with our wisdom and our heart to be here with all of you each moment to help each of you rise to love your galactic selves. I am Commander Avion, and it has been my pleasure to come forth today. There's a monkey here. Okay, here we go. My name is Ralph, and I love being a monkey. My most fun thing about being a monkey is my flexibility. I can fly here, I can swing there, I can leap over this, I can twirl over that. I have so much fun just being in my body, experiencing life. I carry a very high intellect, and I have no interest in making you feel inferior. But there are times I scratch my head with some of the choices you make, and I think, like a V8 moment, how could they even begin to think that was okay? And then I sit and I send a giggle and a big hug to each of you, knowing that I'm touching the monkey part of you. And with that, it is your saving grace. Oh. So remember Ralph, and know that I'm in your heart, touching your monkey part, your monkey wisdom, to help you illuminate the beauty of who you are and your enjoyment in life by being flexible. And anytime you're stiff and you're insisting that things have to be this way or that way, you are not being flexible and you are in resistance, as Judy was speaking before. So be flexible. And if you've been doing it this way and it's not working, do it that way. Don't make one right and one wrong. Just make them the nucleus of experience. And you're choosing to try it this way and you're choosing to try it that way. But no matter what you do, participate in life fully and trust that all is well. Ooh, he's swinging between all these huge trees. And he's grabbing beyond where he's ever grabbed before. And he's saving this little kind of face as he's doing this. And he says, I hope you reached my joy and I hope it reached you. Come in the jungles and swing with me on a tree. Your life will never be the same. Oh, that was Ralph. How fun is that? Okay, Jesus is here. Here we go. I come forth this day with my beloved Mary Magdalene, and we are encouraging each of you to hold hands, to comfort others, to be there to shine who you are and know that it's enough. You are all enough. There's not one of you that is not enough. And so the low self-esteem that we feel among many of you comes from other people's ideas and their own insecurities that they have then put on you. Please do not allow that. Clear your head and know that you're pure divinity. And that's all that matters. And everybody is pure divinity. And come to the truth, not the illusion and the lie that's been fed to you. So hold hands. Even if you hold hands with yourself, you're holding hands with every form of life because you are every form of life. and think this beautiful rose in your mind as you share the beauty of you with all of life. Keep it simple. Hold hands and give from your heart. Here's Mary Magdalene. I stand here in this moment presenting you the idea for you to recognize that you're fully enlightened and fully illumined. You already are it. There's nothing to strive for. You are not here to get better. You are not here to be more. You are already whole and complete. You have everything that you need in your own heart, and that is your truth meter. And you can sense the truth for you because your truth is not everybody else's truth. You all come as individual aspects of divinity to serve a specific purpose. And each purpose is not going to understand the other purpose. So stop looking for everybody to agree with you and instead stand in the truth of who you are, no matter where you are, no matter what you're doing, and have the courage to share truthfully from your heart as long as you are not creating harm. I don't care how outlandish what you're sharing may be. Do as Judy and Brie are doing today. Tell the truth, your truth, and understand that each soul will recognize a truth for them. That's not our responsibility. That is yours. And if you feel the truth in your heart, it feels like a warm glow of grace, like a ball of sun. And then you know that is truth for you. If it feels, as Judy saw as a teenager, stabbing energy going into the heart of people that were using foul language, that were saying unkind things like hate, and things like that, you actually send daggers of that energy into the hearts you're directing those words to. And that is causing harm. And you're not only penetrating your heart with it, but you're penetrating every heart at the same time. So stop putting your energy into harmful words, harmful thoughts, harmful feelings, and harmful choices. And take responsibility to treat you with the most love possible. And then you are automatically a love bug, sharing love with everything and everyone. It's natural to have all of the emotions. You came here to have all of the emotions. But you have the responsibility what you do with those emotions. And the greatest gift you can do is love yourself through it and quit pushing it and sharing it with everybody else. Let each person's own energy field be clear to the truth for them. It's not your job to tell everybody what they're supposed to be doing and who they are and what's expected of them. They will know in their own heart what the truth is for them. That is what I call divine grace, because you're allowing each soul to be who they are and experience their own life in their own way. And that, my friends, is love. And now she's putting her hands on her heart and she's kissing and blowing kisses to everybody. May you stand in the truth of you and love it. Okay, I'm clearing everybody. I'm sending the violet flame to all of the planet and beyond so that only love is being sent. Wow, that was wonderful.
It was. I was sitting here. I had taken glasses off. I started crying a couple times, even with the monkey.
I know, isn't Ralph wonderful?
It's so emotional. It's like, you know, if people could understand some of the things that we say, right?
Yes.
And we have a monkey or Peter Pan come through, which you know is one of my guides, right?
Yeah.
It's like when they come through, it's like they bring such joy, you know, and you learn to love yourself through the creator and your higher self and just who you are, and learn to live in that love space.
Yes.
Whatever you want to call it.
Yes. Doesn't matter.
That love, you don't go back. You know, it like I've told you, once I felt it, you don't
That's
go
it.
back. That's it.
Yep.
That is it. Judy, thank you so much for being on today. You know,
Been fun.
it's been fun. And the mediumship challenge you just did was like immaculate for Master Jesus, Mother Mary, Christopher Columbus. I mean, everyone.
Can we just take about 5 or 6 minutes? There's 2 other things I'd like to do.
Sure.
I want to put everybody in a healing chamber.
That'd be
So
great.
that everybody gets that opportunity. And I want to take a few minutes to talk about some of the physical things we're going through.
Okay.
So people can recognize some of the ascension things. So let's take a moment and let's guide you into a healing chamber. And I'm doing this through the heart, and I'm offering it to your I am presence and your sacred heart, so that only what honors you is what you will be receiving. So in this moment, if you just clear yourself and go into your heart space, here we go. And this is not only for all the people that are on this particular event that we're doing, but to all of life. So in this moment, as you stand in the truth of who you are, I am asking Ascended Master Hilarion, the Ascended Master of Healing, to take you into the Emerald Crystal Temple of Healing in Shambhala. And Archangel Raphael is the Archangel of Healing. And Ascended Master Hilarion and Archangel Raphael are both of the Emerald Ray. And the healing temple that we're talking about today is above the country Greece. And that is Ascended Master Hilarion's private healing temple. So in this moment, I'm asking that every form of life, in any way, shape, or form that could benefit, be invited into the Emerald Crystal Temple of Healing in Shambhala. And that in every moment that Hilarion will custom blend something that you personally need from God and God's pharmacy, healing food, healing water, and healing garden that would truly benefit you now. And he averages about 20 to 25 minutes on each bead. So we're going to let him go and do what he needs to do. And I'm also inviting Lord Melchizedek to come in and to assist each of you in whatever way honors you. And a huge number of us on the planet are part of the Order of Melchizedek. Some of you are also members of the Order of Magdalene, of Mary, Mary Magdalene. And I'm asking these two, representing the male and the female, to help each of us come into the parts of us that's truly our wisest self and merge and come into the androgynous full heart that we need to be. I ask for the elixir of light, which is a golden liquid that sparkles like diamonds and is the consistency of shampoo, to come through the crown of your heads and fill your whole beings, all your bodies, all your minds, and all your hearts. May any part of you that's been fragmented in any way, shape, or form come home as golden rays of light into your sacred heart. May we go into all aspects of your soul and all lives you're living, all the way into your core, in through infinity, out through infinity, and of infinity. And the elixir of light is the Creator's unconditional, unlimited love in a gold liquid form. And it's what the Ascended Masters, angels, and archangels live off of. We ask that it be filled to you, overflowing, so every part of you feels safe and cherished and loved and held in the greatest respect and the most gentle touch. And that you just know that you know what honors you. We ask Mother Mary to put her sky blue healing cloak of divine mother love, and Father Joseph to encircle each of you with divine father love. I call in Buddha, and I ask Buddha to direct us to feel the giggle that he was mentioning of joy in his belly. And we all feel that giggle of joy, and Buddha will help us. I see Krishna, and I ask Krishna to help us recognize the parts of us that are the blue beings. And I know that in this moment, everything is taken care of through love, ease, grace, and joy in the most benevolent way, or something even better. So I ask for this evening for each of us to be taken into the Emerald Crystal Temple of Healing in Shambhala, or something even better. And we each receive the perfect healing, rejuvenation, regeneration for us in this moment now. And tomorrow night, we all are taken into the Jade Temple of Healing inside Inner Earth in Mount Shasta. And I ask Adama, the high priest of Telos, to escort each of us into the Jade Temple of Healing. And we receive the perfect healing, rejuvenation, regeneration that honors us each individually and collectively as a family. And that we're each given the opportunity to go into the accelerator chair. And whatever way in which our own healing, rejuvenation, regeneration is ready to be accelerated, only in the way that honors us through love and ease and grace. We experienced it fully and completely. And our higher self will continue to choose which healing temple or chamber would truly honor us for the next 30 days, or something even better. And so it is, beloved we are. Okay, I just want to quickly share some of the ascension symptoms that have been coming through. One of the things I've been being guided to do for the last year is to use my other hand and be more ambidextrous. And I think this is to balance the brain. Because I'm normally right-handed, but I've been being guided to use my left hand for personal things, for working on the phone, for doing things, and strengthen my left side so I'm more in balance. The last several months, you may have noticed that you are having a hard time walking straight. You're sometimes losing your balance. Sometimes you have to hold on to a wall. Sometimes you're very dizzy. This is because my guides explained to me that our auras are expanding way beyond the 6 or 7 feet that we've been having before. And now they're expanding 25, 50, and 100 feet beyond our bodies. And they showed me we were like tightrope walkers, and we had the pole to help us balance. The problem is the pole's not wide enough for the amount of expansion that we've done, and we need to be more grounded. The thrill of this, how clever we are, is we've created this so we have to pay attention to the present moment and where our feet are. We're so smart. So every time that you get up, I choose to joyfully create my day and have more fun than I've ever had. Say to your feet, I have happy feet, and I happily ground myself in the ways into the beautiful earth that allows us to feel the heart of each other and stay grounded. And it's so clever that we're doing it this way. We're losing our memories, all of our third dimensional memories. So if you're not remembering dates and times and family members and their names and circumstances, it's because it's going, because we all finished third dimension 17 years ago. And we've been in fourth now for 17 years. And so here's some more ascension symptoms. You may discover that you have intense itching. I had itching under my arms for a year and a half, to the point I had scabs. I was that itchy. And then it went to my back. And it's not as intense as it was. But if you're having a lot of itching, that's why. You also may notice that things that used to interest you, drama, being part of the group, being in the it crowd, having this thing on the outside and that thing, it isn't touching you anymore. You don't have an interest in the drama, the family squabbles, the idea that there's better or worse. You're just really choosing to be in peace. And in my opinion, Being in your mastery is being at peace in your heart, no matter what's going on out here. I don't care what the story is, because it's all been made up by all of you. And you can choose to remove yourself from the story and change your pattern to flow of joy. You don't have to live the old thing. It was all dissolved on December 21st, 2002, 10 years before we all thought. And my guides came to me at the end of 2002 and they said, Judy, as of right now, there's no more carbon-based anything being born on planet Earth. It's all gone. That's when I knew we shifted from third to fourth. And then they said, all babies, all animals, and all plants that are being born from this point on are full walking masters. They're all of the golden light of divine consciousness, and they're all full crystalline beings. No more carbon-based anything. It's gone. So I get information 10 and 15 years ahead of things sometimes. And then they were guiding me not to tell people this until about a year and a half ago, because the consciousness wasn't ready for it. So what that means is, because I surrender and trust in the integrity of my own soul, which is what I'm suggesting to you, stop out here. Jesus said the kingdom is within. Everything you need is in your own heart. And in fifth dimension, you have no guides or angels. You have you and all that's encoded in your own heart by you. It's not out here. It's not out here. So stop giving your power away out here to people and things that don't have your answers. You are the only one that has all of your own answers. And you loved you enough to make sure you had everything. I just wanted to say that and to help you with those few ascension symptoms, so that help you to realize that a lot of what you're going through, we're all going through, but we're experiencing it a little differently. I love you from the bottom of my heart to the bottom of your sacred heart, and may we heart connect, enjoy, and beautifully assist each other in our own way. Namaste. Woo! Let it out.
I have to tell you this. We have roses. We have the planet put up. We have hearts. We got blessings of hands up. People are just saying thank you, thank you, thank you. They love you, Judy. There is so much there. Thank you. And they mentioned Nocturnal Healing also on there. This one woman saying, good Lord, the green healing activation. I mean, yes, I saw what's going to be coming. It's like this green emerald crystal line room.
It's wonderful.
So thank you. This has been
Brie for putting this all together. And I want to thank everybody that's listening, because you contributed to the consciousness of everything that we shared today, because I called you all in and I asked for you all to be here and to share from your heart, and you did. So we all created today, and I thank you very, very much.
Well, thank you. Thank you for being on. This has been a great event.
And the monkey is just laughing and laughing and laughing as it's swinging on bigger and bigger branches. So Ralph is alive.
I'm gonna have to play with Ralph.
Ralph is alive and well.
All right. Well, thank you again for being on Love is the Answer to Every Solution. And we got lots of love today.
Yes, we did.
Thank you. You have a great day and evening, and thank you. And I want to thank all the listeners that were listening today and participating and watching this. If you have any questions, you can get a hold of Judy, Cali. Judy, give us your address where they can get a hold of you.
It's www.judycali.com. It's my name.
Right. So it's just her name. And, I'm Dr. Brie, and I really thank everyone for being here today. This has been a great event, and just many blessings to all of you. And from my heart, many blessings.
Remember to hold hands. As
Yes.
Mary Magdalene said, hold hands.
That's right.
Woo.
All right. Well, Thank you again, Judy. And we'll have to plan another event sometime like
I
this.
think we're going to have to do that.
All right. Well, thank you so much for joining. I'm going to end this meeting and everyone have a blessed day.
Thank you.